Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all good? I hope so. Okay, listen. So, I saw Tisha mama. Of course, we all knew or should have suspected that she was going to come, have something to say about what Marsau said in that scene, right? But I really feel like what she missing is that you're the problem because you created your daughter that way. You made her be that person because you never allowed her to have a voice. Because you were always jumping in to fight her battles. So when she was just standing up there looking goofy because he said, well, give me my name back then. Even though when she was talking about it, she was like, y'all saw that face Tisha made. She was like, who the F you talk to? That ain't what I saw. What I saw was her looking like, did he just say that? I can't believe he just said that. And you know why she can't believe he just said that? Because when Melody was saying she was going back to her birth name, going back to Rogers, all of the Scotts was over there trying to make it seem like she had lost her mind. Because they feel like the man's name holds more weight than anything. Marsau was standing up there going back and forth with Tisha when she was like, but it is though. He said, but it's not though. She like, but it is though. She trying to tell him that she an individual, that she holds value, all that. At this point in y'all marriage, that is something that you shouldn't even have to say. He should already know that. But the thing is, you've been saying that since season 1. Let's go back to when Mel came to pick you up, to take you over. Some type of event was happening over at the library, and she was introduced you. Hey, this is Letitia Scott. This is my friend. Hey, this is Letitia Scott. This is my friend. She do this, that, and the other. Trying to show you that you can be a mom. You can still be a mom and still go after your passions, the things that you have in your heart, the things that you really want to do. You still can do it. You can do both. And she was really trying to help you. Even when y'all sat out on that patio and she was like, Tisha, listen, I got the blueprint. I can show you how to do this. I'm already doing it. I'm still being a mom, and I'm still going after the things that I love, the things that I like. What did Tisha do? She went back to Kimmy and flipped that whole conversation as if Mel, she went back and she said, Mel was like, I got the blueprint. I got the blueprint. And then she gonna ask Kimmy, do you think she was telling me to leave Marsau? That's why from season 1, episode 1, at that table, I have never seen it for Tisha. Ever. And then you turn around and do that and go back to Kimmy. Kimmy already feel a way about her. And she's like, well, if she telling you that, that's the craziest thing she ever seen. And what's she over there doing? Rolling over, suffering through it, cleaning up, dropping off, picking up. Well, he can graduate now. But you get what I'm saying. And I know that suffering through a comment was made during the time she was going through her health situation. But still, it can apply today. Because as much as she was talking about her libido, baby, I can only imagine what it would feel like with somebody trying to get up in there and it's dry. Baby, all that friction, honey, been certified. No, sir, you better go sit down somewhere. So when that lady decided, I don't want this name anymore. I was somebody before I met him. I helped him become somebody. Why he always talking about he made somebody. No, I made him if we want to be serious about the situation. So when that man said, well, give me my name back then, what Tisha should have said was either bet or say less. And she should have walked off, went back over there, and started spackling that wall. And when he probably would have said something like, what you say? What that's supposed to mean? Don't say nothing. Continue doing what you're doing. Continue making your little video, whatever you was doing. That's it. And if he would have tried to call your bluff on that, answer it. Period. But the thing is, I doubt that Tisha would do something like that, even though I know there has been conversations that they separated or whatever, allegedly. I don't know. But I doubt that she would do something like that or make that move, because Tisha is the one who told us that her identity was her marriage. She told us that she built her life around her marriage. Tisha is the one who has been defending her marriage since season 1. Tisha. Marsau has always said, I don't need you to defend me. What they talking about ain't nothing to be defended. I don't care nothing about what them folks talking about. Marsau has always said that over and over and over again. I don't need you to defend me. I don't need you to stand up for me. But Tisha continued to do it as if Marsau is going to reward her for it. Ain't no awards for this. But you know what? Being that Tisha mama comes out very male centered, because she always will ask people, where your husband at? She still got her husband. Where your man at? She could have been raising Tisha up off that Betty right. After the pain, when Betty said, you see, God gonna bless me for loving you, for all the times that you treated me wrong, and I kept being true. And she let dude know that God's eyes, they not closed. He ain't asleep, because he watch every move you make and every secret you keep. And she told him, you better be careful. That's what she told him. Now maybe she raised up off that Betty right. I don't know. But I done told y'all, stop listening to that lady. Don't listen to her. Don't be listening to that lady under the tree. Because evidently her old man putting her through it anyway. Because why you ain't in the house? Hitting out your nerves that bad? You got to sit out here under the tree? Because see, you got to self-regulate. Because you about to go upside. I'm just playing. Anyway, you're not fit to get anything. He not fit to buy you an award trophy. You not fit to get the medallion. You're not even fit to get a star from the Dollar Tree that he can put on your forehead, because he has told you over and over, I don't need you to do that. But yet you continue to do it because you want him to see your value, the way that you ride for him. He don't care nothing about that. Even in the first season, I think it was like episode 7 or 8, when she was determined she's going to go work for this broker, and she going to prove to Marsau that she can do this. She going to have to prove it to him, because he don't believe her. So they go out to dinner, and she tells him that she accepted the job from the broker. And he said, are you serious? She said, yeah, but wait a minute. I got something else that you may like. And that's when she told him that the lady called back and said, when you told me about what your husband do, I just want to see if he would be interested in bidding on this hotel. Oh, he over there cheesing, honey. Just smiling. I think that was the first time we saw that he had top teeth. He was like, really, man? And she just over there just... girl, you know how your child, you can tell them something, you like, I'm so proud of you, I'm so proud of you, just so cute, and they just be over there just grinning and rocking back and forth. That's how she was doing, just so proud that, wow, my husband, I made him happy, like, oh my gosh, I made him, like, girl. And then right after that, he went back being the same way that he was. But then when she go and tell her mama about it, she said, well, you should have said this and you should have said that, but don't worry about it, I'll do it. Then what we see, her mama talking to Marsau. She talking to him. She pop up at the house, and Marsau like, what's she doing here? She talking to him. Then we see them, they sitting at the table. She talking to him. They go out to dinner. She talking to him. She always stepped in to fight the battles that Tisha should have been fighting. Tisha should have been standing on her own 2 feet, letting this man know, okay, I know when we first started this thing, it's basically whatever you said I did. But Tisha been telling this man from the beginning, I'm my own person. And Marsau has been telling her, no, you're not. And what did she do? She dealt with it. But still to this day, Tisha is still trying to prove her worth, her value to Marsau. And even when Marsau was sitting over there talking to Maurice, and he was like, I don't know what this thing gonna look like when, all the kids grow up. People, like, you got a group that's feeling like, oh, he been hearing people say this for a minute, so this could be him just playing it up for the cameras. And then you got other people be like, no, I think that might serious. And he probably at the point that he looking at the youngest girl and be like, it's gonna be a couple of more years before she hit 18. I don't know if I can hold out that long. It could be one or the other. But the thing is, like I said, when Marsau was talking to Tisha about that situation with Destiny, and I was like, Marsau has 3 daughters. And Tisha is the hardest one for him to raise. And when he was standing up there talking to Tisha, he was talking to her like she was his child. He was like, how many times have I told you this? Why do I have to keep talking to you about this? Yes, you wanted to go over there and cause a problem with Destiny. And she's like, no, I didn't. Yes, you did, Tisha. Because when you walked in there, when you walked into her open house, you were being shady. So yes, you went over there with the intentions of starting some mess. But you wasn't expecting Destiny to respond the way that she did, because you're used to when you get to being in your feelings, hollering, screaming and all that people will coddle you. Then you're going to go back to your mama And then here she come again, fighting your battles. That's why you don't know how to handle your own situations. Then your mama over there on her live talking about, well, she don't want to be disrespectful. I mean, she don't want to do that with mama, dad, cousin, sister, all that. But if it's somebody outside the family, and I was like, well, wasn't Kiki in the family? Did you forget about that lady? Both of y'all did her like that. But you want to sit up here and tell us that, oh, she just don't want to be disrespectful. So she just don't want to be disrespectful over there smacking on down on that doggone catfish. So you're trying to tell us she will rather her husband talk to her any kind of way, make her look any kind of way in front of the cameras. But y'all just don't know when they not in front of them cameras and she over there. That's what you want us to believe? So you're telling me that as much as Tisha works to prove that she has value, that she is her own individual person, that she just gonna continue to allow him to talk any type of way that he wants to talk to her on camera, but behind the scenes, that's when I'm handle you? That don't even make sense. That's why I never like when people say, well, I don't really correct them in front of folks. I just wait till we get behind. For what? I am where you act up at. This one I'm gonna straighten you up at. So when that man said, give me my name back then, I bet. Because we're not gonna act like he didn't kind of set it up in a way that if he did want to dip out, it wouldn't be much that he would have to give her or split with her, because the majority of the stuff is in her name. She told us that she was the 80%, 86% owner of everything. She told us that. So if you're doing a business, if you have an LLC, when it comes to that 20%, they really ain't got much to say about anything. They the minority holder. So it's like he kind of set it up in a way like, if I really want to dip up out there, I can ease on down the road. But Tisha mama is the one who made her that way. She did that. But she acts the total opposite of how Tisha is. She gonna forever pop off. She don't care if she popping off on camera, on her live, in your face. She gonna make sure that you know you not fit to be playing with my baby like that. But she would let her, like, girl, speak up. Now she would say, well, she should have told Marsau this and she should have told Marsau that. But at the same time, she be telling her, well, don't mess up your situation. Just you can get them in order. You'll get them in order. What? You confusing the girl. That's why she don't know what to say. So when she's standing up there looking at him, she just looks confused. And even when she was going back to like season 1, where Tisha would be talking to Marsau, she was like, well, what was the point of me getting all these degrees and going back to school? And Marsau told that girl, oh, I thought you were just doing it for fun, like doing it for play. And that will make people wonder, like, okay, if Tisha has the degrees that she say she has, then is it that she just have book sense, but she don't have the common sense? That question has been asked since season 1. And I'm at the point that where I'm trying to figure out. Now, I don't know if Tisha ever showed her degrees. Like the people want that lady, the Brian, whatever the lady name, that the people like. She said she went to this school, but now she can't produce her, whatever. I don't know if Tisha ever showed her degrees. But at this point, I'm confused. Because I'm trying to figure out, okay, are y'all saying that she has a master's degree? Or she mastered getting a degree? Like, which one is it? Because you're not fit to tell me that you're the majority owner. You're the one that got y'all out the red. You're the one that's out there promoting the businesses. You're the one that's putting your name on everything. We're not going to forget that little issue that y'all had at the comeback group when the loan won't go through because the guys' names weren't on the loan. We ain't going to forget that. But you going to allow this man to talk to you the way that he was talking to you just because he your husband? Baby, you got to get some backbone. You don't even have to be disrespectful about it. You don't have to meet him on his level, because there's a way that you can talk to a man and you don't even have to cuss. You don't have to cuss. You don't have to get loud, anything that will make his knees buckle. But you don't know how to do that because your mama did not put that in you, because she always fought your battles. And sometimes that becomes very unhealthy and it'll handicap the person. Because see, it's clear to me that Tisha never had the opportunity to, what you want to call it, develop the skills to handle conflict, she wasn't able to do that because her mama would always jump in to try to rescue her. She was the one fighting her battles. She was the one always telling Tisha, basically, it's not Tisha's fault, it's everybody else's fault. So if you're hearing that from a child all the way into your adulthood, like I said in my other video, what do you think happened? Now Tisha don't know how to take accountability. She don't know how to compromise. She don't know how to regulate her emotions, because when she was over there with Destiny and Destiny said, I can't do this too much work, what did she do? Too much work? Girl, stop all that hollering. Calm down, baby. It ain't even that serious. Direct communication is hard for her if the person don't see her like the victim. It's hard for her. And for a long time, Tisha has been tolerating discomfort instead of speaking up and letting Marsau know how she feels. Even if we think back to when she did the trying to get him to renew his vows, and he was like making a joke about it, and he wasn't going to do it. He stood 10 toes down, baby, in a handstand, 10 fingers down, that he was not about to renew the vows. And he gaslit her, talking about, no, when it comes to vows, that's important, and I wouldn't want to do it at no Vegas. And she was hurt. She was hurt. She had tears in her eyes. Mel pulled her to the side to try to talk to her. What did she do? She just swept it under the rug. Oh, I knew that he didn't want to do it at first. So, I mean, I know how. No, that was serious, and she should have said something. But she wouldn't know what to say because she's never been able to just stand in her womanhood and fight her own battles. Because you got to understand, conflict resolution, that's something that you learn from experience. You learn how to speak up for yourself. You learn how to say no, and that's it. Like, ain't no, and then you explain why it's a no. It's a no. When it comes to conflict resolution, you can see when you hurt somebody. You willing to correct a misunderstanding. You can negotiate like your differences or whatever. You can do all that because you learned it, because you had to put in the work to learn it. But if your mama always stepping in, then what happened? What did Tisha do? She has become emotionally dependent on her mama. That's her protector. Even though she tried to make a scene like Marsau is her protector, her mama her protector. Because she know her mama gonna validate her feelings. She gonna make it, baby, don't worry about it, they wrong. So when that man said, going back to him saying, well, give him my name back then, for him to say that, like, that's a whole different conversation. But as it goes, as it relates to Tisha and her mama getting on live and talking, and Tisha said this, or Tisha don't want to be disrespectful, right there you saying two different things. But what happened, that by her mom always being the one to step in, Tisha don't know how to advocate for herself. And by always pulling your mama into it, you have formed a triangulation, to the point that sometimes Marsau almost made it seem like he wasn't even in the marriage, because your mama always in our business. So by her mama stepping in, what is she doing? She again regulating Tisha's emotions. Tisha don't know how to handle herself. That's why people will always say that Tisha is not emotionally intelligent. And even though she be feeling like she's supporting Tisha, most of the time it's just interference. But if Tisha, when she stood up there and told Marsau that she is an individual, she is still an individual in this marriage. She's still Letitia. Like, yes, I'm Letitia Scott, but I'm still Tisha. The only way that she's going to make him understand that is that she's going to have to start using her voice and speaking up to him and letting him know, like, I respect you as my husband, but you're not going to continue to disrespect me as your wife. I'm your wife. I'm not your servant. I'm not your servant. I'm not your maid. I'm not your babysitter. I'm not any of that. I'm still a woman at the end of the day. A woman that you chose to marry. Because you may have to go color purple on her and let him know, I ain't never asked you for nothing. Not even your sorry hand in marriage. You never know what she might have to do to get this man to see you gonna stop playing with me. And if you want to go, da-da-da. Baby, I ain't gonna hold you back. Do what you want to do. Now, will it be hard for Tisha because that's all she known? That's the only thing she's known, and that's her identity? Yeah. But if she really want to stand in her womanhood and want to be this person without the disrespect, and if he ain't going to change, baby, you need to go. Don't worry about it. People gonna say you should have been left. You should have listened to what the other lady was trying to tell you. You was so you always wanted to throw your marriage up in people's faces, and this will show growth. Yep, I did all that. I apologize, but look, I wasn't fit to put up with that anymore. I just can't do it. Now your sister-in-law, she probably gonna stay over there because she ain't got that much sense. But if you really don't want to put up with that, and he is not gonna change, because I don't feel like he gonna change because he ain't changing all this time, you got to figure out what you gonna do. Are you gonna continue to put up with it, or are you gonna move on? Or are you just trying to stay together in a way just because y'all on this show? Even though your mama say you don't care about the show, I can't tell, because we see how you acting. You thought that you was fit to be the HBIC. You thought you was fit to be the head woman in charge on this show, but it didn't work out like that because it ain't in you. And I don't mean no harm, but it's just not in you. Destiny has stepped in and become the top dog with the Fletchers in a close second, because people already would rather see a Fletcher's TV show by themselves minus y'all anyway. But it's your attitude, and you done played the victim for so long. Even some of your supporters are now seeing you as just a whiny little brat who don't know how to handle her business on her own, who has become very annoying. Why is she acting like this? Why she got this attitude? That's not a good look. When things switch up like that, it's not good. I don't know, but yeah, I feel like even though that lady was sitting over there talking about, well, Tisha don't want to be disrespectful, Tisha don't want to do this, you're the problem, ma'am. You created her to be the type of person that she is. The same way, if you think about it, it's the opposite of what Stormy is going through. Her mama gave her tough love, where she didn't get the emotional side of things. She didn't get like how Wanda is kind of stepping in for Tisha, but at the same time, you always hear her say, I love my daughter. She tells Tisha that she love her all the time. She tell her how proud she is of her. Stormy didn't get that. She got the tough love, where I'm trying to teach you to be tough because this world will tear you apart. And her mama also said that she didn't know how to give that because she didn't even get it. So where Stormy is lacking in that, and making her be just always want to go off on somebody because I don't know who you think I'm playing, I don't know who you think you playing with, Tisha is the opposite. If you just really sit back and think about it. But yeah, what would you do? One, do you think your husband would even say something to you like that? Or two, if your husband did say, well, give me my name back then, what would be your response? And do you think that Wanda created Tisha to not know how to advocate for herself because she was always jumping in? Let me know. Get down in the comments, and I'll talk to y'all later.